everyone, so today I've got some new makeup to try on with you today, first impressions, because I haven't tried any of these at all. And the first one I'll be showing you is this new NARS eyeshadow palette, Afterglow Irresistible, which has just become available in the UK, and this YSL Bronzer, and the light coral shade in the new Guerlain blush, Celestial Sparks highlighter from Cle De Peau. And I've got 4 of the new Merit matte lipsticks, the signature matte, and I'll be trying one of these but swatching all of them. And lastly, I have a brand new perfume to tell you about. So if you think you'd be interested in this, please keep on watching. So if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah, I'm 47, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who loves makeup and all things beauty, and here on my channel I love to share any product news, tips, looks, anything really I think might interest you. And if you think that's something you'd enjoy, please do like and subscribe below. It really does help me ever so much in getting my channel to grow. And if you could comment below, even just to say hello, that really helps me so much. I'm so grateful if you do that. Anyway, on to the video. So I'll be starting with this NARS eyeshadow palette. Now I know this has been available for ages in the US and maybe elsewhere, but it's just finally made its way here to the UK. It's very frustrating how long it seems to take, but I don't always pick up eyeshadow palettes from NARS, but when I saw this colour story, I had to, because I wanted to really give NARS eyeshadows a good try, because I just haven't tested them enough, in fairness, and I haven't been drawn into them as much, but this colour story is something that speaks to me, so I thought I'd give it a go. So this is called Eye Candy, and I will do some swatches for you now. So starting here with the top row, we have Adoration, which is a satin champagne, Amorous, which is a sparkling gold, Blaze, which is a metallic sanguine. God, that is beautiful. Definitely be using that one today. And this one is called Hot Rod. This is a sparkling burnished orange. Well, I think off to a good start there. And the second row starts with Magnetism, which is a matte rust pink, High Stakes, which is a shimmering rose pink, Take a Shot, which is a matte cinnamon, and Frisky, which is a glittering amethyst. There we go. And the last row we have Mood Swing, which is a matte chestnut, Pure Bliss, which is a satin copper, Midnight, which is a matte espresso, and Nitro, which is a sparkling deep brown. So there we go. And this retails for £55, and it does say that it's limited edition, so I don't know how long it'll be around. I think it's been out about 3-4 days now in the UK. I picked it up pretty much the day it launched here, so last I checked yesterday it was still available, so hopefully it's still available for you today. So I'm going to start here with Mood Swing. This is a matte chestnut. My eyes have got concealer and I've powdered. I'm just using a fluffy brush take this across here as a sort of transition. It's a very strong transition, but my starting. Very pigmented. I tap the brush off and I hardly put any on, and you can see that it's really packing the colour here. That's a lovely starting shade, that. I really like that. You really need to tap off with these. I'm using my Nikki LaRose N13. So yes, very pigmented, but also very blendable, very easy to blend out. So might start off looking a little bit scary, but very easy to work with. I'm now using the deepest colour, which is this matte espresso, BK Beauty 204. I'm going to run this underneath and start to bring it up a bit to create a bit of depth under the eye and into the outer V. A small sort of wing. This brush is perfect for tight lining dark powders to really emphasise and deepen the eyelash line. Just gets in perfectly. I'd much rather use a powder than an eyeliner these days to do this. Just spread this deeper shade slightly over here, but not too much. Just bringing a little bit more depth here, see, to the outer V, and I think that's enough. And when I'm adding this, I'm literally dabbing the brush with the tiniest touch, because it's really packing a lot of colour. And now with my finger I'm going into this one, which is Blaze Sanguine. This is a metallic shade. I think this is a shade that would be really nice as a one and done all over the lid. Look at that. I love shades like this. This applies perfectly with the finger. You could use a flat brush. There's an awful lot of pigment in this, so I think a flat brush would pick it up very nicely. I just prefer to do it with a finger. I'm going to take this 2/3 across my eye. Oh, that is really pretty. Just tidy up a bit with a fluffy brush to blend it all into the other colours. And run a little bit just beneath. And now we're going into Amorous Sparkling Gold. And just blend this into the crease here using my fluffy brush, just so the edges are nice and soft and smooth. And I'm going to use this Satin Champagne for my inner corner. My BK Beauty 207. That's perfect for this look. I'm popping it underneath the eyebrow as well. There's an awful lot of fallout with this, so I do need to really tap off to avoid it all going down my face. I don't know if you're able to see, I'll show you. There, see? Quite a lot of kickback. I do prefer a satin for an inner corner on my mature eyes, because I find when they're glittery it just really gets into all the fine lines and it's not very complimentary on me. So when it's a satin shimmer, it's so much nicer and smoother on this eye area, which is the worst part of my face when it comes to wrinkles. So I've gone off camera and I've done my mascara, and that's the final look using this palette, which I have to say I have really enjoyed. The formulas of each of these eyeshadows are fabulous. Very easy to work with, the colours work beautifully together. You could definitely get a sort of pinky look as well if you look at the palette, because obviously there are these sort of pinky tones here, so you don't have to go just for this orange sort of colour that I have gone for, but I was so drawn to this one here. I love it. I've gone for completely the wrong top today. I don't know what I was thinking putting pink on, because I knew I was trying these colours, so ignore my top. So now on to the YSL brand new bronzer, and first of all let's just look at this gorgeous packaging, this sort of squishy faux leather. Their packaging is beautiful, isn't it? And here is the bronzer, and this here is in shade 01. So this does look very light, but it does actually recommend on their website that you don't go up to the next shade unless your skin tone is medium or above. So this one is supposed to be for all fair to light skin tones. So with mine leaning more on the fair, in the fair to light range, I thought 2 would be too dark for me, so I didn't get 2. I was tempted because this does look awfully light for me. I think I normally do go up at least 1. So it's a bit hard for me to give you an awful lot of comparisons, because most of my bronzers tend to be a bit darker. But I've got a couple to show you which might help you if you're thinking of buying this and maybe you've already got it in your collection. So one of mine here is the Hermes 02 I have in this one, and this is Atlas. Swatching these bronzers, they're not going to show up much on camera because they are so light, but I'll do my best and hopefully give you some idea. So this is the new YSL in 01, so you can see how pale it is. It's almost slightly yellowy, so at the moment I'm not sure how this is going to look on my skin. So this is the Hermes in 02, and you can see straight away it's a lot darker. But maybe the very lightest shade in the Hermes range could be a perfect match. And I do have here the Victoria Beckham Bronzing Brick, and this again is in 02 because, like I said, I don't tend to buy the lightest, but I will swatch the lightest shade in this. So this one is looking like a match actually. So there we are. This is it more built up. This is the Victoria Beckham, the lighter shade in the Bronzing Brick 02, and there's the new YSL in 01. So I think these two are quite a good match. And I've got here the Vive Bronzing Palette, and this comes with 2 shades, so I'm going to look at the lighter shade. So this is Light 1. I haven't even tried this bronzer yet because I'm planning on a full face of Vive. It's a brand I haven't even tested out, so it's the first, oh gosh, well that's a huge difference. It's the first time I've ever tested this out. When I rub it in though, it's not so much of a huge difference. I think it's just that it's packing a lot more of a punch as you apply it. So with a light hand, these are quite close actually. This one is a bit warmer and a bit darker, but not a lot. So if you have this Vive Light 1 and 2 bronzing palette, the lighter shade is quite close. It's also slightly close in the way it feels. It's got that same really smooth, buttery texture that the YSL has. Not as buttery though, because YSL, I don't think anything is as buttery as that, to be honest. So I've got the Charlotte Tilbury in 2. Sorry about the state of this one. Bit of a well-loved bronzer, this one. So here is Charlotte Tilbury in shade 2, which if I brush it into my skin and blend it out, it's coming out quite similar actually. It is darker, but it's not terribly different. But it's definitely darker, so maybe shade 1 in this would be a better match. And I've got here the One Size Light Bronzing Trio, and I'm going to look at the very lightest shade in this. This one. This is a very pigmented bronzing palette. Straight away you can see how pigmented this one is. This is another bronzer you have to be really careful with when you apply it. You can see the lightest shade in that is still deeper. Yeah, so the One Size lightest in the light palette is darker. And looking at the new Natasha Denona face palette, I'm just going to compare it to this very lightest contour bronze shade. Now this one is definitely less warm, isn't it? I definitely feel this YSL one is quite yellowy and warm, which is not really a shade I love, so I'm wondering how it's going to work for me. Whereas the Natasha Denona is perfect and more of cool tone brown. So there we go, that's all the comparisons I can offer at the moment. So I think at the moment if you have the Vive maybe, it's a good match, and if you have the Victoria Beckham bronzing brick that I showed you, then you might not need to try this. But one thing none of them offer is the texture and the feel of the formula in this, because it really is the most silky, soft, smooth, amazing texture. But how will it look on my face? So using my Sonia G and EG Pro bronzer brush, which is what I always use, I'm going to go straight in, and seeing as it's so light I'm going to be quite generous. So let's see what's on the brush. So there's quite a lot being picked up by the brush. At the moment I've got a little bit of cream contour underneath my powder. I'm wearing my powder as usual. Now going in with this bronzer, which, as I expected and as the swatches suggested, is not showing up much, but I can see it. And I like the way it's sitting on my skin, melting in straight away. You're not going to have problems as in over applying and panicking and having to fix, because this is so light, but also the way it's blending in, it's not patchy and it's not clumpy. It feels lovely actually. To get some colour out of this I'm going to need quite a lot, and I like it, but I don't know at the moment if this is enough for me. I think I'd like a little bit more. Anyway, let's build it up. And when you're wearing quite strong eye colours like I am now, you can look a bit strange and unwell if you don't have a bit of colour in your face. So because I do like to wear a lot of colour on my eyes, I do need that colour on my face really to stop me looking strange. And my face is just starting to look too powdery, so I have to stop. I really don't like the way, I know I shouldn't be putting it here, but I don't like the way that it's really settled into lines. Emphasising my lines, I don't like that. I'm going to take my BK Beauty fluffy brush now to just try and fluff it up and not have too much settling into lines. And obviously I wouldn't have bronzer normally in all these areas, but I have been overly generous packing this all over the face due to it being so light. I think from a mature skin point of view, and with my shade of skin, I don't think it's great, because the amount you need to put on to try and get the effect you want. You don't want heavy layers of powder on your skin. I can't say I'm in love with this one, to be honest. Love the formula, but I think I did need the next shade up. For me personally, I don't think it's enough. If I just dip into my Charlotte Tilbury in medium, I think I just need that little bit extra colour. Now see straight away the Charlotte Tilbury in shade medium is giving me that bit of colour I need. But I'm not convinced that for fair to light that that's the best bronzer to have as a standalone bronzer, unless you just like a tiny bit. So I think if you're going for a sort of no makeup day with a really light natural look, it's fine. you might need to go up. But I do think they all look a little bit warm as well. So, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to buy the next one. Sorry, I hate saying anything bad about products, but I can't say I love that. I like it now I've added Charlotte Tilbury. Right, now onto a blush, which I can tell you now I do love, because I have tried this in the light pink. This is the new Guerlain blush, and this one is light coral, and I did actually have a play with this one yesterday, so I know that I'm going to love this one. And here's a swatch of it on the back of my hand. It was perfect for me, coral shade. Well, this might be better in summer, but I do have that shade on my eyes, which I think it'll match up nicely with. I'm going to use this gorgeous brush from Refa. This was one of their limited edition special brushes. I don't think they're in stock at the moment. Well worth looking on the Refa website always when they have these special edition brushes, because they are gorgeous. You will not feel a softer brush on your face. So here's how the blush looks. I'm going to sweep this up. Just absolutely gorgeous colour. One sweep and that's enough. And what I found with these new Guerlain blushes is, like the Guerlain Bronzer and the Luminizer, it just melts in. Just melted in, look. Absolutely beautiful. Is there anything easier? Just sweep up, you're almost done. Just melts in so naturally. I absolutely adore these blushes. And I only got the light pink and I had to go back and get another. I thought I should really stick to the light colours, but now I just feel like I want them all. But maybe the colours won't suit me, so I need to be sensible. If you're noticing any glitter on my cheeks, that's actually my fault, not the fault of the eyeshadow, because when I had it on my little finger I did that stupidly, so ignore that please. And there are 6 shades available in this new Guerlain blush, and they retail for £43, and I highly recommend them. They're gorgeous. And now onto the Cle De Peau Luminizer. Now Cle De Peau is a brand I've avoided buying completely, in all honesty, because the prices are so high. I just didn't want to get involved. I think there's so many brands I'm already investing in and they're costing me a fortune to run this channel. I just didn't want to do it. But when I saw this one, the packaging and the actual powder itself, it just really screamed at me. So I've caved, and I'm going to try my best not to now go and buy the entire collection if I love it. So I just want to show you this. This is how it comes out of the box in this lovely pretty pouch. Well, certainly when I see anything from Cle De Peau, the packaging always interests me, but this one just really called my name. Look at this packaging. And now inside you will now see the Luminizer, which is called Celestial Sparks. See all the different multi-shades in this. It just looks stunning. Now, being called an Luminizer, I'm hoping I won't have the shock I got with the Chanel Luminizer, which is putting it on top of makeup doesn't work for me at all. It works beautifully underneath. So obviously I'll be trying this one above and hoping for the best. So I've got my Sonia G Fundamental Fan A. I'm going to tap in. I can see here all the different shades picking up in my mirror. The lilac, green, brown, deeper brown, white. It's just got a lot in it. So it'll be interesting to see how this looks. Tap off. Quite a lot came off, but then I brushed into it a lot. And let's just see what happens. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, that is really pretty. Look at this. Oh, I love, love, love. Oh, that's stunning. Okay. Oops, am I going to become a Cle De Peau addict? Okay, maybe a bit too much on the forehead there. I didn't realise there was that much left on the brush. Calm that down a little. That is so pretty. And I can't say it doesn't emphasise texture, because it does a bit, in all honesty. I don't think anything this bright won't, but it's not terrible. So it's not mature skin friendly, but it will show your texture up a little bit. I can't say it won't. It really is gorgeous. I'll try a little bit down the nose. Yeah, oh, that's nice. I definitely like to try this one for my inner corner and under the eyebrow for a different look, so I think it'd be beautiful for that area too. It'd also be quite nice as an eyeshadow topper. Okay, so for my very first venture into Cle De Peau, this is absolutely gorgeous. but it does retail for a whopping price of £84. So this is a big investment, but it would make the perfect gift because I can't see anyone not falling in love with this one. It's gorgeous. So my Merit Signature Lip Mattes have finally arrived. I did order them the minute they launched and it took a very long time to get to me, which does tend to happen with Merit for me here in the UK. But I bought 4 shades. This is actually the first time I've tried their mattes. I've only ever tried their lip gloss and liquid lipstick, which I very much enjoy. So I was interested to see. I'm not a massive fan of mattes. I do find them a little bit drying and I do prefer more hydrating lipsticks. But I have tested these all out and I can tell you now, these are nothing like a normal matte. These are like really beautiful hydrating lip balms and I've really enjoyed them, and they also have exceptional longevity for such a moisturizing type of lipstick. This one is Maison. This is Maison rubbed in on my hand, and this one is Classic, and this is how Classic looks rubbed in. This one is Sunday, and that's Sunday rubbed in. Obviously you can deepen these up a lot. I just wanted to show you how they look if you want to wear them as a light shade. So Merit launched 8 shades in these matte signature lips and they cost £28 each. And the 4th one that I bought is called Court, and that's the one I'll be using today, and it's probably my favourite that I bought. Now these have a real velvet texture. They do give quite a blurred finish, but for a matte they're so lightweight and so hydrating. They're gorgeous. You can even use your finger to just rub it in to finish off the edges and give that blurred effect. That is how lightweight and soft this is. It's like butter. Honestly, it's gorgeous. So that's how Court looks if you just leave it with 1 layer. I think it's beautiful, and it's a real nice everyday shade, so it's a very friendly red. It's not one of the overpowering reds, but I will deepen it up with another layer. So that's how it looks with a 2nd layer. You can definitely see the sort of blurring effect on the lines of my lips. Very, very complimentary and just so nice. Honestly, I've never worn a matte this perfect. I mean, Pat McGrath does lovely soft mattes, so that would probably be a close second, because this one is the softest, nicest matte I've ever worn in my life. Beautiful. As a final touch, I want to show you a perfume which just arrived this morning, which is perfect timing for me to add it into this video. And this is from a brand that was new to me just a few months ago, and it's called Imaginary Authors. Now you might already know this one, but I didn't know it until very recently. Now just look at the packaging. They always come in these like books, so you can actually put them on your bookshelf if you're a collector. And this book slash perfume is called The Language of Glaciers, and this one appealed to me because it's so unique. Now this is a real winter perfume, and the notes in this are white pine, lilac, cashmere, juniper, forget-me-not, blue bugle and virgin snowfall. And when you open the book, here is the packaging inside. Here's the perfume, and they always give you 1 sample of their other perfumes inside. So here's the bottle, and on the back it gives you the notes. And this is a 50ml bottle. It costs $89.95, and I believe it actually sold out in the US when it launched. But the shop I get it from in the UK, and the only supplier of this brand I'm aware of, is called Slick Boys. I have put a link for you below. This is the 3rd bottle I've bought from Slick Boys from this brand, and I really enjoy them. I just want to read to you the description of this perfume because this is what sold me, and maybe it'll sell you too, I don't know. It depends on your choice of fragrance, but this is what it says. Have you ever stood alone atop a mountain with chunky snowflakes swirling all around? Such is the splendour you will experience within the language of glaciers. A romantic epic which reaches incredible heights and inspires one to leave no moment unappreciated. From the stillness of a moonlit snowshoe excursion to the rush of witnessing an avalanche safely from above, the recollections of our unnamed narrator will captivate you the same way the solitary song of the snow owl captivated them. Find comfort in the cold and begin to see the world from stunning new perspectives. Critics have called it a slow-paced story that will burrow straight to the centre of your soul. and sharp as ice and smooth as a glacial lake. And it says that finally we have a perfume for the introverts, which is definitely me. That is not to say you can't wear it out, but it will act like a trusty parka coat. So I've been wearing this perfume whilst I've been sitting here doing this, and it is very light. It's not an overwhelming strong perfume, and I do wonder if it's going to have an awful lot of longevity. I can still smell it, and it's been probably 2 hours since I very first sprayed it. But it does immediately give you that sense of walking through a pine forest. But it's not like overwhelming. It's quite like if you put your hand into a pine tree and you have it absorb into your skin, and then later you catch a sense of it on your skin. That's probably the way I would describe it. Very, very different, very fresh. And it is that sort of cozy winter vibe. It just makes you want to snuggle it with a blanket and a nice hot drink. So yeah, very, very different. I've not got anything in my collection like this whatsoever, so I'm really glad I tried it. It's also unisex, I think. It doesn't say, I'm not sure if it says that, but I personally think this is unisex. I think this would work very well on my husband. I think he would enjoy this one too. So I might have to hide this one. So that's it from me today. So I think today's been quite a big success. I'm slightly sad about the bronzer, which probably was the highlight of this entire try on, because I was so excited about that. I just don't think the shade is very good for me. Beautiful formula, but maybe go up a shade if it doesn't look too warm, but I'm not sure. But the eyeshadow palette from NARS, I'm super happy I went for it. I wasn't sure, but I'm glad I did. I think it's beautiful. I love all the formulas. And I'm looking forward to trying another look with it soon. And the Cle De Peau highlighter is sensational, honestly. I've tried so many highlighters recently, and I've said they're making it to my top. But I think this one's just zoomed past all of them at the moment. This is at the top. This will take a lot of beating. I've got my Pat McGrath and my Iconic London sitting over there, which are my two top at the moment. And I'm also loving the new liquid ones from Dior. Now, I don't think it's beating the liquid Dior, because I've got all the different shades and they match perfectly with different looks. But powder highlighter, this has raced its way to number one instantly. I've only tried it once, so I could change my mind, but at the moment, stunning. And the Merit lipstick, these are the best mattes I've ever tried, bar none. They are stunning. I'd happily have the whole collection and never use another matte lipstick again, because they last hours and they feel fabulous. Beautiful. And the Glam blush, I adore these blushes. The pink and the coral so far, absolutely stunning. Probably the easiest blush I've ever applied in my life. Very natural, blends in perfectly, and I love the shades. So if you're a deeper skin tone and you want to try them, they do have deeper ones. So they've got some beautiful shades, and they are quite common shades, but they're not common in the way they apply. So don't think, oh, that's a boring colour, and be put off. I think it's really worth trying these Guerlain blushes. They're stunning. So a very successful try on for me overall, and I've really enjoyed doing this, and I hope you have too. If you have, I'd love it so much if you liked and subscribed below. And if you already are a subscriber, I'm delighted to have you back here on my channel. And I do hope to see all of you in my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.